That's also a way of calculating return on investment. I think that's how companies should be calculating return on investments. For you, at Cognism, is it a buy or is it a no buy? Hi, welcome to the demo of Cognism. Here we are, and this is it. This is what we're going to show you. But if I were to summarize, and I guess both of us, David, you and I both have used this tool before. So we've got a fair idea of what we're sort of working with here. Essentially, for all of you who are new to Cognism, they have two parts or two pieces. One is, of course, the dashboard or the back end, whatever you want to call it. They call it, I think, the prospector. And the second piece, which is the Chrome extension, which we've seen a majority of the other platforms use it. The Chrome extension, we're not really going to get into it, but the Chrome extension essentially works well with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. When you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it basically mines through LinkedIn data and spits out email addresses, phone numbers, etc. But what we have on hand here, and I'm just going to sort of walk you through what I'm seeing right now and how I feel about it. And of course, David is going to chip in with his comments and thoughts. But what I see here basically is a really clean, simple, and easy to use platform. Prospector, again, is nothing unique about this piece of the tool, and we know that Cognism competitors have the exact same thing. You can search by either contact or you can search by company. So when you search by contact, you can search again by job seniority and titles. Let's put some random titles in. I'm going to say HR manager. I'm going to say I want to exclude CHRO. If I want to add in location, I can add in location. Like I can add in a bigger location, say APAC, which is the region I'm in. So I'm going to obviously go in for my select search. I'm going to say Singapore in this case. Singapore as a country. I'm glad it shows up because sometimes some of these platforms don't include Singapore. I wouldn't say exclude India because I'm not in the Indian market as far as business is concerned.
Thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah. There's details, of course, you can get into it, phone numbers, type of phone numbers you want to.
So you can actually trigger through job postings or job.
That's great, because I actually face this problem. When I have a list of contacts, at least the industry that I'm in, I see a lot of people leave. And that's normal in regular industries, but it seems to be higher in the industry that I'm in. So when people leave their jobs, it's like a super useful data point for me to know.
Yeah, and also seeing what kind of people they're hiring as well is really important because, say, like in my industry, it's really important that our companies have delivery drivers. That's the way our technology works, is for in-house deliveries or in-house freight deliveries. So if we know that a company is giving out, job adverts for delivery drivers, then we know, okay, this is a company that we can put that in the search and it narrows it down even more. So if your industry, you know that there's a certain job type in that industry and they need to hire certain people, then you can really filter through. So, I mean, a very common example is people who are hiring business development representatives. That means that they're looking to scale their operations. So that could be a company that you would want to build a relationship with, not necessarily sell to immediately, but no, okay, this is a company for down the line because now they're scaling and they need business development representatives, which means they need to lead and enrich them.
Wow. So I can even change this trigger to something more useful. I can say maybe I want to look at instead of job leaves, I want to look at people who are, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to say job join. So when people have joined a job in, say, the last 3 months, I'm going to save that. And hopefully it'll give me a larger list. And for me, these are the people I want to kind of target in my industry because these are new. And the stuff that we usually sell are technologies that we want people to take a bit of a gamble on sometimes, and I've seen in my experience that when people are new at a job, they are open to trying out new things that their predecessors may have not been able to.
That's actually a big sales point for Cognism. I'm not sure I've been watching too much of their content, but that's one of their big ones is something like that. I believe they say that someone in the first couple of months of their job, they spend 30% of their budget or something like that. Is a
Really?
statistic I came up with. Yeah.
Oh, that's really
So
cool.
I don't know. So it's kind of interesting. So moving on to, you can do company type as well. So obviously you can do it on job level. You can do it on company level. So that's why we mentioned the account-based marketing. You can do it through revenues, is really important. You can also do it through a number of employees, and there's multiple industries, technologies that they use. Moving to the lists and intent, maybe that would be more interesting, Abby, to go through.
Yeah, lists again for me, nothing revolutionary or nothing extraordinary, but it's a section that you can build a list for. Typically, the way this works is, of course, you go to Prospector and you put some requirements in. You find a bunch of people you want to add. You want to push that on to create a list, and you can name your list whatever you want to name it. Nothing revolutionary here as well. What you can do with Cognism, just like you can with most other platforms, is that this list actually integrates with your CRM. So you can push the data, and unfortunately for the trial, Cognism does not give you the integration, which is fine, because in my experience, the integration piece can take anything between a few minutes to a few months. So as long as it works and we know that it works, it's fine. So that's the list, unless you have anything new to add to this.
No, like for me, the list was interesting. That you can also edit them as well and re-update them. You can share them with people in your team. You can kind of manage your whole team with these lists. So if you're up to a level where you know exactly your ICP and your territories, and you know exactly where your team's going to be working out of, then you can really, put your team on the front forward with these lists. But that's, I think, down the line when you start to work on your sales process. So if you're a commercial manager working on the sales team, these are going to be really important. In particular, if you're a head of sales trying to manage your regions, your regional managers can use these lists to kind of monitor their teams quite easily and intuitively, and then set up the sequences with it as well. I think the last option is the intent.
Yeah, let's get into it. This is an interesting piece that most companies are now adding on. You can basically set topics based on the things you want to track. So say you want to track, for some reason, logistics, or you want to track, say, I'm going to say catering. Let's see if that shows up. You can see event catering. Say you want to track that as a topic. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to keep it quite unspecific in that sense. And I'm going to look at, basically gives me a search score. It tells me, ooh, there's an error. Yeah, that's not good. Hopefully that was a one-off. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But basically what Cognism's done here is that they have an integration with this other company called Bombora. Bombora used to be a company that used to do just the intent piece. And from what I understand, Cognism acquired Bombora, they have a partnership with Bombora where they pull that, they've basically taken this feature. It's a feature acquisition that they've done. And it basically gives you a range of a buyer intent based on the topic you select.
Yeah, it sounded like you were struggling there, Abby. What it really does is, if you could imagine everyone that types into Google a certain intent. So if a company's looking for route optimization, route planning, catering companies, what they do is they put these into different search words. It doesn't just have to be using Google, but essentially they take these search words, and what it means is they can then signify which companies, they can't tell you the person, but they can tell you which companies or company emails are searching for these topics. Then from that list, you can then go and contact these companies in a nutshell.
Well, this is a bit of a tricky one, in my opinion. In case that I've had a sort of my share of experience with these kind of intent platforms. And it could be, in many cases, it could be a competitor visiting your website. It could be someone trying to actually log on and use your service. And that can be confused as a lead.
This isn't a lead feeder style. So this isn't people coming into your website. This is people typing in that keyword that you're going to break down the industry types for.
Yeah, but I mean, what's stopping? I mean, exactly. But the same logic could apply where you have a competitor who is doing research on you. He could be typing in a keyword as well.
Oh, no. I definitely agree in terms of that. And I'm on the same page with you. I don't think that this should be a yes or no. I don't think this should play a key factor. It's a nice to have. it can be very confusing. I would, if I was going to be in these shoes, Zoom Info is actually where, if we go into a bit of comparison, Zoom Info allows you to put your website and tells you who's been on your website. I think that would feature, if they added that feature to this, then I think it would be, something worth more while to kind of showcase. But the intent for me is it's a nice to have, but it doesn't make any difference in my buying process. What about you, Abby?
Yeah, same here. It doesn't make a big difference. It's just a plus. It's not a pivotal factor. What I'm really looking for is good strength on the prospector side of things that helps me mine and get the right kind of data points and right kind of data.
Yeah, so I think in terms of what it does in comparison to the others as well is you're able, it self-updates the list. What that means is whenever there's an update to the list, it pings you and lets you know. So you don't have to keep, refreshing your updates. You can kind of manage your whole team from here, and it puts everyone on the front foot. So I quite like it. I just don't particularly like the UX layout and the design of it. However, it really is a strong tool to have. And if you're really looking to scale your operations, I'm really excited to use a tool like this, as it really weaponizes your team to be on the front foot.
That's great. I'm just going to quickly show you guys how to create a list. You select all the contacts. Again, this is nothing remarkable. Just to give you guys a quick sort of heads up.
Yep.
And then you hit save. It's straightforward. It's nothing complicated. And they make it easy for you. So as far as the UX and just the experience of using this platform, I love it. I have no complaints.
From the hip, I give it an 8 out of 10 with verified data accuracy. A lot of what we said previously in the installment clarifies all of this. Abby, what about you?
9 out of 10, made strong rating here. They promised and they delivered. Yeah, simple as that.
Cool. Cost per lead?
Cost per lead, this is my problem with Cognism, is that they are expensive solution. The initial price that they gave me, I don't know how much they quoted you, but the quote that I received initially, unfortunately, if you want to reach out and find out more about exactly how much they quoted us, send us an email. But yes, it was quite expensive for me. And when I did the maths on how many leads I actually needed per month per sales rep or per month as a sales organization, I found it to be expensive. So 7 out of 10 for me, cost per lead. What about you?
Cost per lead for me, 7 out of 10. It's very difficult, kind of parameter to judge it on. However, the information that they give you for us is quite valuable. And so that's why I'd give it, a 7 out of 10. It's quite vital to get these people's contact details. As particularly in my industry, they're always on the go. They don't really have their own kind of office many of the times as well. So getting someone's contact details is quite valuable. Return on investment for me, I give it a 8 out of 10. Main reason is you only really need 2 deals. That's it. 2 deals and you get your money back in 12 months. So
that's also a way of calculating return on investment. I think that's how companies should be calculating return on investments.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to take into the fact that they're always on the front foot, that you can integrate all of these, sequence emailing systems, all the content they give you as well. I mean, Cognism really, when we talk about unique selling point of product, I don't think it's there. When we talk about unique selling point as a company, I think it's there massively. The information they give you, the sales presentations they give you, the key differences with others as well. And I know it kind of doesn't relate, but I think it's something really valid to bring up is you can see the difference in the presentation. Zoom info, a lot of info. But I would say Cognism really separates itself with its educational material. You do a search on YouTube, you type in Cognism, you're going to get all this information from them themselves. And at the end of the day, Cognism is speaking to what the salespeople need, which is valid data. It's very simple. And not just valid data. You need a phone number, talk to Cognism. It's a really good ring to it. So for me, there's a huge return on investment because it encompasses all of this. And okay. Abby, for you?
For me, I'd actually say 1 point lesser. So I'd say 7 out of 10. And the only reason I would say that is because of the cost. For me, it's great. Everything is amazing. Checks most of my boxes, I would love to go in for Cognism, actually opt for the solution for my company, and I have no problems. The only question mark for me really is when it comes to budget, and how much budget allocation I have here. And because of that cost component going up, that for me brings down the return on investment by a factor of 1. So I would give it 7 out of 10 for return on investment. For you, Cognism, is it a buy or is it a no buy?
If you asked me this at the start, I would have said no buy. I give you a buy, 2 thumbs up. Team was amazing. Product is good. It does what it needs to do. You're getting your return on investment. You're getting a lot of support. And that's the key thing, is all of these platforms and systems are going to pretty much do the same. Some are going to be 80% of what you need. Some are going to be 90%. Maybe some are going to be 95%. But if you have a supportive team trying to find solutions for you, the job is going to be so easy. Think about how much time it takes you to learn to do something. If someone helps you implement that into your system, you can save weeks and months. Think about the amount of times you taught your team to use a new software. Cognism is there to help you along the way with this. So I'm really happy with Cognism. My verdict is quite simple. Buy Cognism if you can afford it.
It's a buy for me. And I kind of knew this going into the review because I'm biased. From previous positive experiences from Cognism, I've never had a bad experience with them. I've had some challenging moments in this process. I've listed them out before. So as long as you make sure that you speak to the right salesperson and are able to indicate a strong level of interest and seriousness in exploring, I'm sure you'll get the due attention that you need from them. And everything else for me was fabulous. So I'll give it a double thumbs up. Well, I hope you guys liked the video. We put in a lot of work, and thanks a lot, as always, for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'd love the support. We love the acknowledgement. And if you want us to put up more videos or different tools that you think you might find useful or you can benefit from, send them over to us. Send us an email. Put your comments in the comment section, and let us know what we can do next and help us improve. Thanks again for watching. And see you again at Sales Moghuls.
Cognism. I think it's Cognism.
It is Cognism, yes.
Guys, we need to confirm the name.
Do we have a company representative telling us?
Drum roll. They're the only sales tool so far that has an office in Europe.
Yeah. The difference. I'm just curious to see.
Let me see. I would be like 10%, 6 figures. I'd be maybe over 100,000.
Maybe it's your beard. I think that's what they like. They just like your beard. I think I should grow a beard. I think that's what's making the difference here.
I mean, it could be you. It could be you.
Actually, I'm starting to think it actually could be me.
What?
There's a cat. I think that's fighting with another cat. So, that's why I was in mood just somewhere here. Anyway.